Addi here. So here's a quick overview of the Swoncho for those who know how to do granny clusters and basic crochet. You don't even need a tutorial on that. So I used about 14, probably like 16 ounces of yarn, of black yarn, with a little bit of orange, and it's just to make it more Halloweeny, more fall-like. I added this accent color, but you can make it one color, you can add different colors. And I did this for 26 rows only of granny clusters, increasing only in the front and in the back. So the front and the back, they create a triangle that covers only the area that we don't want to show much, and the back as well, just a little fun part there. And you just give accent around the face, closer to the face, so it can show our pretty features there. And then the sleeves, just to keep your arms warm. I do not like that holey texture on my arms, so I went on my Addi knitting machine and I did about 50 rows, and then I finished the band here with two double crochets into the front post, and then two just regular double crochets, not in the front, not in the back, they just go flat, and then two again through the front post to give it a little definition without that bulky and more textured feeling here. So, and it does give you a little bit of less movement because you cannot go higher here, but if you want to have to be able to lift your arms, exercising this, you can go ahead and do more rows, which will give you an extra batty feeling of these triangles. So I went and I attached the sleeves, leaving just 3 double crochets not attached to any of the side, so there is a little bit of ease under the armpit here. That's how raglan sleeves are also constructed, so I went with that in mind when doing this, and it's just enough to go driving in the car, just enough to give you a little warmth without sitting and those ends being too bulky like in a cardigan. It might get too much around your seat belt or whatever, sitting in small spaces. So it was very quick project. I did it over the weekend. It's quite mindless project. You can just watch TV and do it. It's really quick to do. If you make it in a smaller scale, you can use a 3-weight yarn with even the same number of stitches. It will just produce a smaller poncho. And then attach sleeves. If you don't want to attach sleeves, that's fine too. You can just make it into a poncho. And you can add different colors. It's such a versatile pattern and idea. You don't need even a tutorial on this. So, but if you do, the tutorial is after this. And you'll find the tutorial for the hat as well in the description below or after this video, so make sure you check that. And of course there'll be helpful links in the description below as well. Have fun and enjoy your fall. Happy crocheting! For this Swoncho, I'm using 100% acrylic yarn, medium 4-weight yarn, and the recommended crochet hook is 5.5 millimeters, and that's what I'm using. For the arm sleeves here, for the armband, I'll be using 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. I'm using, I used the whole 14 ounces of yarn and a little bit more, and a little bit of orange, not too much. So let's get to it. Start with the slip knot, and that's how we do it. We get the tail, we go over the working yarn and then under the loop, and we pull halfway through that loop and insert our hook. We chain 84 chains. Once you're done with your 84 chains, skip the first 2 and into the third chain from the hook, do a double crochet. And then one more double crochet for a total of 3 double crochets, counting the chain 2 at the beginning as a double crochet, then chain 1, and into the same spot we do one more set of 3 double crochets. And we will do the same thing halfway through our chain for the middle of the Swoncho. So once you did the first section where we'll be increasing the Swoncho, the rest of those granny clusters will be positioned in every third chain. So skip 2 chains from here. You'll be skipping 2, and into the third one we do 3 double crochets. And then skip 2, and into the third one we do again 3 double crochets. And we keep repeating that. You will have 13 sets of granny clusters or 3 double crochets, and then you'll have another set of a granny cluster, chain granny cluster, and then you'll have another 13 sets of granny clusters till you reach again at the beginning, and you will slip stitch and finish your orange color here. Then when you need to add your next color, you will start with the slip knot again, and into that space between the 2 granny clusters with the chain space, these corners here, you will start your new color doing a just chain 1, and I'll chain 1 more, which will count as a double crochet, and then a granny cluster, 2 more double crochets, chain 1, and 3 more double crochets. And after that, in the spaces between the granny clusters, you will just have 1 granny cluster. So into the next space, you'll just have 1 granny cluster. And these are the sides of the Swoncho. A granny cluster is 3 double crochets. So you will keep repeating that, and when you reach those corners, you will have 2, 2, 2 in each row. Every time you will have only 2 in these 2 corners. So these are where your increases are. Here are those 2 spots that are in the front. Everything else gets 1 granny cluster. And you go this for a total of 26 rows, and it's going to be time to do the sleeves here. So if you do not want to put sleeves and you just want to make a poncho, then you just keep working like that all the way the desired length. And you can add as many colors as you want. You can make it 1 color. It doesn't have to be those colors. But I wanted to make them for Thanksgiving, Halloween time. So this is my version of it. Now let's do the band for the sleeves where the wrist is. So I'll start with chain 2 in the first stitch, and then into the next stitch I'll just do double crochets all around the perimeter of the sleeve. This will be like my foundation row. So just going all around into each live stitch here and doing double crochets. So there is a thread that goes through the stitches that shows me where each stitch is, and it's the same color as the sleeve, so it blends in. My next rows from now on will be worked with 3.5 millimeters crochet hook and chain 2. We're going into the next row. Into the next stitch we'll do a double crochet, and then into the next 2 stitches we'll be working the front post of the stitch. So we'll do 2 front post double crochets and then 2 regular double crochets. not in the back post. It will look like ribbing, but will not gonna be that big. So the next 2 double crochets will be front post, and then the next 2 will be just on the top of the stitch. And I will repeat that the length I want till I reach the end of my wrist. For those live stitches, I'll be grabbing my working yarn and doing slip stitches through all of them. Insert your hook, pull through. So I found the middle of my sleeve. According to my math, I should use 7 granny clusters from here. 2, 4, 6, 7. So I'll be starting from here, chain 2, and then I'll go through the space, slip stitch. So into the next 2 stitches for a total of 3 double crochets. To make a granny cluster, I'll make a double crochet and 1 more into that next slip stitch I did there. And now I'm ready to go into the next granny cluster, slip stitch into there, and then into the next 3 slip stitches I'll do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And there it is. The next granny cluster is ready. I'll go into the next space, grab my loop, and I'll go like this all the way. If you don't want knitted sleeves, you can just keep going with granny clusters to the desired length of your sleeve that you would like, and make that arm opening the size that you want or need. In the last few stitches, I did double crochets there, and at the beginning of the row I just did a slip stitch, so I have a little opening under the arm. And that's it for this sleeve. I'm done with the yarn and I can move to the next one. So there it is.